Hey everyone, okay, so today I'm going to be doing a review for you of the Bobbi Brown BBU palette, which is Bobbi Brown's palette that contains all the concealer and corrector shades in one, and on the other side you have all of the foundation shades that she does as well. Now I got this at the IMATs. Firstly, I have probably, other than brands like Makeup Atelier, I probably have more Bobbi Brown stuff than I have other brands, and I think there's a misconception that I'm not a big fan of Bobbi Brown products. I absolutely am. I'm not a big fan of lavender in general in things because I find it irritating and it irritates my nose. I don't like the smell. But I'm a big Bobbi Brown fan in terms of products. However, I think a lot of people think it's a very safe range and you can't do very exciting things with it because the editorials aren't oftentimes, overly, Tom Ford-esque or NARS-esque. But the makeup itself, they've loads of it. You can do anything you want with it. So I am a fan. I'm just, I've had, apart from a few problems I've had here and then, I like the products. I always have done. So, I've said it before, I'm very ecumenical when it comes to abusing makeup companies. I will abuse all of them quite happily. I want to give you my thoughts on what I think about this palette and whether or not this palette is something that maybe you should have. This palette cost me £140. That was with a pro discount. I get a pro discount because I'm a makeup artist, so I get the pro, which is wonderful. As far as sizing goes, you get around about 1.5 grams of foundation in each of these. So it's not a huge amount, and I would guess that you get around about a gram or so with the concealers and correctors. If you're a makeup artist, you're going to find this palette amazing because you can travel with it. You can use a really light foundation on the skin, something really skin-like, and then just go over with a corresponding shade to go over the areas that need a little bit more coverage. The fact that you've got a whole plethora here of correctors in peach and bisque shades, so the peach shades or the pink shades, plus all of the concealers as well for underneath the eyes or heavier areas on the face that need covering. For me, it's one of the best purchases I've made. I'm so pleased I have this. It's wonderful, and I can just refill it by buying the corresponding shades of foundation that I use the most, or stick foundation I use the most, or shades of the concealer I use the most. Just melt them and put them back in the pan so I can carry this with me. So for me, it's an absolute must. You can use it to apply an entire face of foundation and concealer, of course. I would fathom a guess that you could probably get around about 10 full face applications at least from each well, covering the face, easy, and much more from the concealer. Now, in the next video that you see, which will be Friday, I will show you a completely different way of using this palette. I've not seen anybody else use this palette or use this technique ever. So I hope you all find it interesting. I'm all about contouring and highlighting. I think it's a wonderful thing. There are many ways to do it. I'm going to show you a brand new way of using something to blend with that we've never used before and I've not seen anyone else done. But it is an expensive palette. You don't get huge amounts, but for the makeup artist, the makeup lover, and those of you that want this kind of palette to be able to work from and work with, it's a wonderful, wonderful tool. And I think that for me, in an ideal world, I would love the foundation shades, and there's loads of them, to be expanded to contain, especially for women of color here, I would like there to be red tones, because I think that women of color oftentimes have red undertones as opposed to yellow. Most people do have yellow undertones, but I think that women of color especially, there tends to be a lot of red undertones and they're quite hard to find. We need to buy adjusters. So enough rambling. I think it's a great palette. I adore having it and I'm really pleased that I do. Is it for you? That's really for you to decide. But for me, it's an absolute must, and I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I absolutely adore it. I bought it myself. It is mine. I am not sponsored. This is not a sponsored video. None of my videos are sponsored. This is mine, and I love it, and I bought it myself. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are in general about Bobbi Brown foundations, or anything along the lines that we've just talked about. And look forward to Friday's video, because I'm going to show you a whole different way to create dimension on your face. that will leave you with this 3D effect that has a glow to it. No more matte skin, we're talking glowing skin. It's quite spectacular, if I do say so myself. And I'll see you all soon. Thanks so much. Don't forget to rate. Always like a little rating, I do. Makes me very happy. See you soon. Bye bye.